Hi there, Year 9. My name is Mr. Shelton. I'm the lead teacher of history here at Erasmus Darwin Academy. And I'm just going to be spending the next couple of minutes talking through the GCSE history course that we offer here at the school. So, in terms of the teachers that deliver the course, it's myself, Miss Perkins, and Miss Mummery, who are all history specialists. And over the 2 years you'll be studying the course, there are 4 different units that we cover. Okay, the top 2 on health and the people through time and on Germany are covered in year 10. And the third and fourth, conflict and tension between East and West and Elizabeth, are caught towards the end of year 10 and into year 11. Okay, so in terms of what these 4 units involve, well, the first one is the broadest of the 4 and actually covers several thousands of years of history. It begins in the Greek period and goes on to the Romans, the medieval period, the Renaissance, the industrial period, which includes the Victorians, finishes at the present day. Okay, so that particular course involves looking at the way in which disease has impacted mankind through the ages, but also the ways in which mankind has fought back against it and adapted to treat it effectively. So we look, for example, at some of the turbulent events like the Black Death epidemic, the smallpox epidemic, the cholera epidemic, the problems with surgery that people had to contend with, problems with daily health and hygiene that people had to contend with. But we also look at some key individuals who made various breakthroughs in understanding things like germs, vaccination, helping surgery become safer, the foundation of the NHS and the way in which that continues to benefit us all. So it's kind of a story of that leads eventually to triumph and how mankind, when it puts its mind to it, can prove incredibly resilient. The second unit is on Germany from 1890 to 1945, and that in a way follows on from what you're currently studying in year 9. It focuses on the role of the Kaiser and Germany's entry into World War One. It focuses on the rise, policies, and downfall of the Nazi Party, and also the various horrors that it inflicted. The third unit is on conflict and tension between East and West, so specifically the Cold War. And we look at the relationship between America and Russia, and also countries across Europe and Asia, such as Britain, France, and China. But we also look at some kind of world defining events that occurred during this period. So we look at things like the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the U 2 incident, the construction of the Berlin Wall, various events which have shaped the world in which we live today and which almost pushed the world to a third world war. Okay. The final unit is on Elizabeth I from 1568 to 1603, and that covers Elizabeth's policies that she introduced while she was queen, linked to government, linked to religion, linked to entertainment, supporting the poor. But it also looks as well at various key individuals such as Sir Francis Drake and his round the world voyage, Philip of Spain as attempt to invade England through the Spanish Armada, and also the actions of people on the ground who tried to assassinate Elizabeth numerous times. So again, it's about the triumph and turbulent events of her life. From there, then, if I just talk you through the way the exam would work, as it stands, it's 2 papers, which are both 50% each of the final grade. And the 2 units that are on paper 1 are Germany and conflict between East and West. And the 2 units on paper 2 are health of the people through time and Elizabeth. And as you can see, there are various source questions and essay questions on each of the 2 papers. So the skills for those are taught at GCSE. Some of the skills will be familiar to you already from year 7, 8, and 9, but there are various skills that you'll need to develop as you're going through the courses. And those skills are taught alongside the content to help ensure that by year 11 you feel reasonably competent in using them in the exams. So why study history? Well, you'll be taught by teachers with a real passion for their subject and people who want to give you a real glimpse into what life would have been like for your ancestors. It's a subject that lends itself to much discussion and debate. So you're not only encouraged to investigate events from the past, but put forward your own views on the causes and consequences of them, have an opinion, ultimately, and consider the what ifs as well. You know, what if things had gone differently during a particular event? What if a particular individual had done a certain thing at a certain time. So really consider kind of the alternative history which could have happened as well had things gone differently. It's a stimulating one which covers a broad range of themes, many of which have had huge implications for the world we live in today. So it gives you a glimpse into the way the borders have been drawn up today, the relationship between various countries today, in terms of the health and the people course, the way in which healthcare is today and why it's in the state it is. So it really helps us understand how we have got as a society to where we are today. And finally, it's a subject which lends itself not just to A level, but also to future careers. It will give you various skills that will come in extremely useful as an adult, and I'll talk more about those shortly. So, as far as trip opportunities are concerned, there are two trips that we intend to run, all being well. The first one for the Cold War course involves a trip to the RAF Museum at Cosford. That gives you an insight into the Cold War, and there's an exhibit there that shows you the various weapons and strategies and um, tactics that the Americans and Russians had in place to try and outdo each other during that particular conflict. And the second trip that we hope to offer is on Germany course, and it's a trip to Auschwitz, all being well, to give you a compelling but also, I suppose, a disturbing insight into the ways in which people considered outsiders under the Nazis were treated. Okay. And in terms of the post-16 opportunities, history, as it says, is regarded as one of the most rigorous A-level subjects out there. Universities look very favourably upon it. It complements a whole range of courses. So even if you don't want to study history at degree level, it certainly is viewed favourably by people accepting students onto any course, whether it's medicine, law, politics, journalism, virtually anything. And finally, it's importantly a GCSE which is very favourably looked upon by future employers who regard it as rigorous and helps draw out skills that are very important in modern day workplaces. Skills like using evidence, putting forward a persuasive argument, justifying your beliefs in a particular idea or project. Those skills will be acquired in studying the GCSE and do prove very useful in later life. Just a final note, there is a trip opportunity also that we offer at A level, which is linked to the Tudor course we study, and it's on a trip to Hampton Court Palace, okay, because we study the Tudors in more depth at A level as well. If you've got any questions, Year 9, about the course or anything I've said, please don't hesitate to email me at c.shelton@eda.staffs.scu.uk. Alternatively, please get in touch with a member of the senior leader team and they can forward those queries on to me. Thanks very much for listening and take care.